are looking at AMC Miller Field in New Carlisle, where tonight the Northern Indiana Conference lead goes on the line. The Penn Kingsmen visit the 9th-ranked New Prairie Cougars on this edition of the 46th Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody? Between the Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hutt, it's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us for what could be the deciding game of the NIC race. The Penn Kingsmen started the season 0-4, but Bob, they have come into Northern Indiana Conference play, and they have run roughshod over the competition. 3 wins and only allowing 6 points.
Yeah, their defense has stepped up. Now, they've been good all season, but again, the offense needed some time. Ryan Buckley's doing a good job. They got a proven running back in Alec Hardrick, and so they've got some weapons, but the big thing is they just have to play error-free ball, and they're going to have a tough challenge tonight from New Prairie.
I asked Corey Yeoman what was behind the turnaround.
Well, you know, I think we looked hard at what we were doing and what we weren't doing and what we wanted to do. And we got guys to buy in and take steps to get things righted. And you know, we played a pretty rough schedule at the start, but that's why it's there. And then they point out weaknesses in a hurry. And I think the guys bought into it, and it's continued to get better. And that's what you want from a team. So proud of our seniors and how they responded to that.
New Prairie is 6-1, mainly because second-year head coach Casey McKim has returned to some of the tenets that have marked New Prairie football over the years of Bart Curtis and Russ Radke, and that is be big, physical, pound the rock.
Pound the rock, and they've got a guy that can really help them with that with Hunter Whitenack, 6'8", 330 pounds. He's going to Illinois. He's a big guy in that offensive line. Noah Munguia is the top running back, number 3 in the state, and if he gets behind Whitenack, people can't get around Whitenack, and they can't see him, so it could be very effective. Ben Frank has done a great job for him, and they're also getting a good effort from Marshall Kamichek, their quarterback, who threw for 3 touchdowns last week.
The second-year coach, Casey McKim, says the Cougars are ready for tonight.
It's an absolutely amazing opportunity for our young men to play a storied program like Penn. It's a measuring stick. We've had a few of those games this year, and we like how we came out on the other side of those. Definitely we've had some struggles, but it's a great opportunity to see where we're at.
Roaming what we hope will be a dry sideline tonight. That would be a switch coming to New Prairie. Bo Hutt working with us again. And both these teams played very good non-conference schedules. We've seen how it's paid dividends for Penn, and it actually might pay dividends for both these teams in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things when you look at schedules in any sport is you want to play a competition that really pushes you, especially for that playoffs, because you want to be able to go in there prepared. And if you haven't played a schedule that teams are challenging you, even in defeat, you have to learn from those defeats. And we see that in Penn and what they've done. So it's very important to have those tough schedules, and we can see why these teams are playing the way they are right now.
The winner sits in the NIC driver's seat, so why not have those Jordan Automotive keys to win? To tell you about this one, that's when the pregame show starts next on the 46th Game of the Week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by TCU, Jordan Automotive Group, Bill's Heating, Interra Credit Union, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, St. Andrews Products, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome, everybody, to the Old School Tile Company pregame show. We get you ready for Penn and New Prairie. The Cougars listening to a little Seven Nation Army as they sit there in that helmet. And here come the Kingsmen out onto the field. Corey Yeoman's team at 3-4 on the year. New Prairie at 6-1. Let's give you our keys to win as brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. And for the Penn Kingsmen, they are led in the backfield by Alec Hardrick. The dynamic senior running back has carried the ball 63 times this year for 409 yards and 9 touchdowns. We saw him score 4 in the win over Elkhart. And as you hear the roar go up as the Cougars take the field, we'll show you Michael Paquette, their outstanding senior linebacker, 6 foot, 217 pounds. Paquette with 32 tackles for the Kingsmen this year. The keys to win for Corey Yeoman and Penn.
Well, Chuck, they need to control the run game, and that means on both sides of the ball, and they've got to be able to move the ball and stop that great run game from New Prairie. Possessions and points got to be equal if they're going to take time to run the clock, get on the board. They got to win on special teams, and that could be a big difference in tonight's game. Corey Yeoman now in his 19th season at Penn with a record of 188-49.
Meanwhile, for the New Prairie Cougars, they are led by an outstanding running game, and the star of that running game is the electric back Noah Mungia. Mungia, the third leading rusher in the state of Indiana with 1,207 yards. He has rushed for 13 touchdowns and has 5 100-plus yards games this year. And he runs behind the big Illinois commit, offensive tackle Hunter Whitenack. Tiny fella, 6'8", 330 pounds, and the senior, as we mentioned, going to the University of Illinois next year, and all-state offensive tackle. The keys to win for Casey McKim and the Cougars.
Number one, they got to take care of the football, and the mistakes have to be kept to a minimum tonight. They got to win in the trenches, and it should be a spirited matchup there, and they have to execute at a high level every play all night long. You know, Penn will, and they need to match that effort. Casey McKim now in his second season, 11 up and 6 down.
This is not one of those big traditional series. This series started only back in 2018. Penn leads at 2-1. The loss occurred on this field 2 years ago, a 2-point New Prairie win, but last year Penn wreaked revenge with a 42-3 win at TCU Freed Field. And our weather tonight, a gorgeous night in LaPorte County. The temperature 64 degrees, the gentlest of zephyrs out of the west at 3, and only a 15% chance that that big old cumulus cloud will bring us some rain tonight.
Here's a look at the uniforms for tonight's game, brought to you by St. Andrews Products. For the home team, the New Prairie Cougars, they'll be wearing the blue jerseys with gold and white trim and numbers. They'll be wearing white pants with gold stripe and a gold helmet with the NP on the side. For the visiting team, the Penn Kingsmen, they'll be in white jerseys tonight with black and gold numbers. They'll be in black pants tonight. They're wearing gold helmets with that Penn script on the side. These teams are looking good, and so can your team. St. Andrews Products has the finest apparel as well as promotional products. Reach us at sales@standrewscorp.com.
The teams meeting at midfield and meeting our officiating crew. Mike Estelle leads the way tonight. He's the man in the white hat, joined by Jeff Coggins, Trevor Medved, Kyle Keith, and Dino Spiritus. They all want us to echo the thing that we say every game, which is there's a need for more officials in the Indiana High School Athletic Association, not just in football, but in every sport. And the officials going through the ceremonial coin toss. New Prairie has won the toss and deferred. Penn will receive down at the west end of Amzie Miller Field. And that will do it for our Old School Tile Company pregame show as we get you ready now for kickoff between Penn and New Prairie. The opening kick sponsored by KC Tire.
Quite a night for our crew tonight, too. Moses Austrian Cafe now under new management. And longtime chef Brad is back running the kitchen. Moses is a from-scratch, authentic Austrian kitchen, meaning they prepare everything on demand, never frozen. Join Robert Rolf Feddersen live at Moses Austrian Cafe. He kicks off the Oktoberfest celebration weekend on Friday the 15th at 6 p.m. Moses Austrian Cafe in New Carlisle. Reservations are always recommended. And people have made reservations for this game tonight, Chuck. The officials are excited about it, and the two teams, certainly we are as well. And we're glad you're with us on TV 46. And NIC, Northern Indiana Conference title, is on the line. And so we're proud to be here to bring you that game. And New Prairie comes out on the field, and partner, this is going to be a fun one. Here's Chuck Freeby with tonight's play-by-play.
Ben Franck will do the kicking for the New Prairie Cougars. Alec Hardrick is the deep man for Penn. There you see Franck, who is on the field for just about every play, and Hardrick will be standing back at his goal line as Franck, one of the area kickers with a really good leg. A big NIC matchup here. If Penn wins, they almost have the title on ice. If New Prairie wins, chaos reigns in the NIC, which would be somewhat appropriate for the 2021 season.
A lot of teams rooting for New Prairie tonight.
Toe meets leather, and we're underway at Amzie Miller Field. A short spinning kick that goes out of bounds, and Penn will have very good field position to start things off with Ryan Buckley at quarterback, the 6'2", 190-pound senior, who is 48 of 92 passing the ball for 554 yards and 3 touchdowns. So it'll be the 35-yard line after the kickoff goes out of bounds. Probably not the idea that Casey McKim had of giving up real good field position.
You've got to watch the field position, but again, they take away a possible big play by Penn to start the ball game, and Penn will get ready to go.
Buckley with Zach Lane in the backfield and 3 receivers out wide of this pistol formation. Buckley looking to the sideline, signals the play to his receivers. And Buckley's going to hand it off up the middle, and Jacob Myers takes Zach Lane down after a pickup of 2. Let's meet the Penn offense. It's sponsored by the Penn Booster Club. Lane, the leading ball carrier on this team so far. Zach David, the top receiver. Good tight end in Mason Wilson, and a big offensive line. They've got some hosses up there, including Braden Shinsky, the 318-pound senior left guard. 2nd and 8 for the Penn Kingsmen. Two receivers to the right of Buckley this time, and he's coming to the right, but then hands it off. And coming up for about a pickup of 2 that time before Myers gets another tackle of Zach Lane. Let's meet the New Prairie defense. It's brought to us by the New Prairie Athletic Department. Myers, not only a terrific tackler, but a good sack man. Tavion Ortman leads the team in tackles from his inside linebacker position, and Ben Frank, the senior, gets the start at free safety, anchoring that defensive backfield, which may be tested here on 3rd and 6.
New Prairie's done a nice job, Chuck, of adjusting their defense and giving Penn different looks before the snap. We'll see if that continues.
Buckley from the pistol. Play action pass, rolls right. Now he steps up, fires deep. He's got a man out there, and Zach David can't make the play. It's broken up beautifully by the Cougars. They were looking for Zach David deep, but Ben Frank nearly had the interception. You'll get another look on the R&B Car Company replay.
Just a little underthrown, gave the defense a chance to come back and get into play.
Dean Ernsberger may have made a little contact there before the catch, but there was no flag. And so Matthew Zhang tries the punt here for Penn, averaging 33 yards a kick. Ernsberger and Frank, the deep men for New Prairie. Zhang with a end-over-end kick that will take a terrific Penn roll and go inside the 20 all the way to the 18-yard line. So a 43-yard kick with no return. And New Prairie will take over 1st and 10 with Marshall Kamichek at the controls of the Cougar offense. The 6', 160-pound sophomore is completing more than 50% of his passes this year, and he's been very efficient. 599 yards throwing and 6 touchdowns. 3 of those came in a win over Indianapolis Arsenal Tech last week. Noah Mungia is the running back who lines up to the left of Kamichek. Penn showing an inside blitz. They came with one. Mungia danced away from one tackler, but he couldn't get away from all of them as Penn surrounds him with Taylor Bauer making the stop that time. And let's meet the New Prairie offense. It's brought to us by the New Prairie Athletic Department. We told you about Mungia. Dallas Ryan's the top of a solid receiving core. They don't throw the tight end much. And then Hunter Whitenack, the Illinois commit, leading that offensive line with Jacob Myers, the senior, at the other tackle. 2nd and 6. Kamichek on play action, has time, fires over the middle, has his man for a first down up to the 40-yard line. That was Dallas Ryans making the catch, his 9th grab of the year, and the first down is sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine as you get another look on the R&B Car Company replay. Pickup of 18 on the play. And a 1st and 10 from the 40. Kamichek firing a bullet that time, and that's the kind of arm that had Casey McKim start him in the playoffs last year against Plymouth. Kamichek gives it off to Mungia. He's got running room and a pickup of 6 on the play before Taylor Bauer brings him down once again. Let's meet the Penn defense. It's sponsored by Hardware Plus. Along the front, Sam Sullivan is having a nice season at defensive end. Ryan Trieber inserted back into the starting lineup tonight, but Michael Paquette, the top tackler on the team. And look out for Seth Jankowski in that secondary with his 4 interceptions on the year. Spotted at the 45. That's a pickup of 5 for Mungia. Whitenack, the offensive tackle, pointing out blitzers. Penn showing blitz right in the middle of that line, and here they come, but it was picked up well, and Kamichek with all the time in the world throws, and it's incomplete. Seth Jankowski able to break it up as the pass was intended for Ben Franck. And you get another look from R&B Car Company.
Kind of a favorite target for Kamichek. Ben Franck, some good defense there to help stop the play, but pretty well thrown ball.
Jankowski, very athletic, 3-sport athlete at Penn, comes from a family of terrific runners. And he, as a matter of fact, finished 2nd in the sectional last year in the 800 meters to the young man who won the state title, Will Neubauer from South Bend Adams. 3rd and 5. Again, a blitz coming, but Kamichek runs to the right, and he's got the first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and 9. Pickup of 8 for the sophomore quarterback for New Prairie.
Real solid. Again, when you have a quarterback that gives you another running dimension, they're all looking at Mungia on that play, and here comes the quarterback, got through there for good yardage. Lock Monday Realty is proud to support the Kingsmen. Mike specializes in condominium and HOA property management, as well as rental management on luxury single-family homes, and even offers a discount for condo owners who list for sale. Lock Monday Realty. Find your new home today.
Mungia off the right side, tripped up after a pickup of 2. Good, solid tackling that time by the Kingsmen as Ryan Trieber came up and made the hit from the linebacker spot. Noah Mungia, 5'8", 190-pound junior. He put on 30 pounds of muscle in the offseason, and Casey McKim says he didn't lose a step. The last time I put on 30 pounds, I lost more than a step.
Good pickup there on 1st down.
2nd and 8. Kamichek runs to the left on a design quarterback run, dives forward, and he picks up about 6 to make it 3rd and 2. Michael Paquette in there on the stop. Kamichek picking the sod out of his helmet. We haven't had too many games on the natural surface this year, but back-to-back weeks, it's a little muddy after all the rain this week.
And Corey Yeoman had his team practicing out on the turf at Penn High School this week, getting them ready for the different surface.
Penn putting a goal line defense, and the handoff went to one of the guards lined up in the backfield, Jacob Mrazinski, and he's short of the first down marker. It'll be 4th and inches for New Prairie here, and I'm sure Casey McKim will go for it. But watch again on the R&B Car Company replay. You'll see 57 lined up in the backfield, and that's who was able to take the handoff here and try to bowl his way for the first down. But we've got a timeout called on the field. Casey McKim wants to think about this one. 6:50 to go, first quarter. No score between Penn and New Prairie on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by Intera Credit Union. We get it, and we've got it. Corey Yeoman's defense trying to come up with a big stop here on 4th down, but first, a word from our sponsors.
Gage Auto on Lincoln Way in Mishawaka is proud to sponsor tonight's game. Gage Auto has over 50 cars in stock, specializing in clean cars under $10,000, and has financing available. Stop by Gage Auto They're across from Twin Branch Elementary, or see the inventory at Facebook Gauge.
Mrozinski, the big guard, carries for the first down. That's a big man first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. His 7th carry of the season. He scored a touchdown last week against Arsenal Tech. He will not bring him down with an arm tackle, I guarantee you that.
No, and he made a good read after the first run attempt. Didn't get him much. He kind of cut it back inside.
Midway through the first quarter, first possession of the game for New Prairie. Kamichek with a long count. Again, play action. Now steps up in the pocket, fires a bullet. It's off the hands of the intended receiver, Dallas Ryans. If he hangs on, they're playing the fight song.
Wow. Another well-thrown ball.
And another look from R&B Car Company.
Home Force is a proud sponsor of high school athletics. Home Force offers everything from earthwork and demolition to new constructions, additions, and remodeling. If you want a new deck or your siding or roof replaced, call Home Force for all your home's needs.
2nd and 10 now for New Prairie. Hayden Clark wide to the left of Marshall Kamichek. They'll give it to Mungia, and Mungia weaves his way through traffic for a pickup of 5 that time. Once again, Taylor Bauer, the sophomore, having a big game at safety so far with his 3rd tackle of the night.
Well, when you get down there on the 30-yard line, Chuck, you got to figure New Prairie might be in 4-down territory as they were just a moment ago.
Although they have an excellent kicker in Ben Franck, and the wind not a factor tonight. Franck hit a 56-yarder on the turf last year at Freed Field. This would be a 47-yarder from here. 3rd and 5. Again, Kingsman showing blitz. Kamichek runs away from the blitz, turns it up the field, and I think he's got the first down. Tommy Paulus brought him down, but we've got a flag and a holding call against New Prairie, and that'll push the Cougars well back.
Yeah, there was a pancake in the backfield, but a little bit of hanging on there, so penalty will bring that one back. Folks, Abe's Complete Plumbing Service is proud to support the Kingsmen. Whether your needs are residential, commercial, or industrial, Abe's has you covered. They handle installation, repair, and replacement, as well as offering 24/7 emergency service. Visit abescompleteplumbing.com for more information.
So instead of looking at a 1st and 10, New Prairie all of a sudden looking at a 3rd and 15, but Marshall Kamichek has thrown the ball well in the early going tonight. Hayden Clark to the bottom of your screen. Ryans and Franck to the top. Kamichek, lots of time. Now he's getting flushed out of the pocket, throws, and he finds his tight end, Thomas Sanders, and Sanders is dropped at the 31-yard line. For Sanders, just his 3rd catch of the season, but it's a nice pickup of 9 yards on the play, and it sets up a manageable 4th and 6.
Get close.
On a bit of a wet and muddy field, they decide not to go for the Ben Franck field goal here, which would be a 48-yarder, and instead take their chances on a 4th and 6 play. Kamichek will try to run for it. Blockers in front, could not get there. Stonewalled by Brendan Arndt in the Penn defense. And the Kingsmen turn it over on downs at the 30-yard line. You'll get another look from R&B Car Company.
While you take a look, we'll tell you that the Billy Goat 9 and Dine in New Carlisle is serving your favorite foods and golf, specializing in their famous pizza and daily specials like Wild Wing Wednesday, featuring 89-cent wings, and beverage specials. Weekends at the Billy Goat also offer great dining specials like grilled steaks and fresh fish. Stop in the Billy Goat 9 and Dine in New Carlisle this weekend. They stopped in before our game today. Whew, we really appreciate it. Thanks to George and his staff. Yep.
So Ryan Buckley, the quarterback, now has Alec Hardrick in the backfield with him. And it's Hardrick taking it around the left side. Hardrick trying to get to the outside and does. And the little speedster takes it all the way up to the 44-yard line before he steps out of bounds. The first down sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. And that's the kind of dimension Alec Hardrick can give this Penn team as you get another look from R&B Car Company.
Good solid run. He has some big people in front of him. Again, the technique that Penn's linemen, check, they've been doing this since 5th grade, 6th grade. They've been learning the blocking techniques and the holes, which way they want to go.
And it does not take Hardrick long to take advantage of that. The Penn strength and conditioning staff tells me that Hardrick is the fastest male athlete in the school. And it's Hardrick trying to go right up the middle, spinning off tacklers. One tackler didn't realize Hardrick had the ball and just passed him off to another, and it winds up being a pickup of 4 on the play. Tavion Ortman's going to look at the film tomorrow and not be very happy with himself.
No. Hardrick kept his balance in there and did a good job.
It's 2nd and 6. As you take a look at Corey Yeoman, 19 seasons as the head coach on the Penn sideline. Another few years as the defensive coordinator for Chris Giesman. On 2nd and 6, low snap. Buckley slipping, sliding, trying to air it out, and it's a little too far for his intended receiver. So Buckley was trying to hook up with Brock Oldick that time, but overthrew his man, and it'll be 3rd and 6.
Our sincere thanks to the folks at the wonderful team at St. Andrews Products for supplying our broadcast team with the finest in apparel. They can do the same for your team, school, or business. Promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and much more. Give them a call at 800-628-9922, or you can reach them at sales@standrewscorp.com.
Keep an eye on Zach David down here in the slot. He wears number 3. Buckley, though, is going to hand it off to Alec Hardrick, who gets to the outside and gets the first down, and I believe 15 will be handed on for a horse collar tackle there.
Yeah, that flag came flying in from the back acres, and back official spotted something there.
Oh, no, it's a holding call against Penn, and the Kingsmen will get pushed back. Watch it again on the R&B Car Company replay. This is where I thought Jacob Myers, but he didn't really horse collar him. He brought him down by the pads, and the hold had handled back downfield.
Yeah. So both teams with a 10-yard penalty in the ball game so far. Folks, the Outside In is proud to support Penn Athletics. The Outside In offers massage therapy, holistic wellness, infused oils, as well as a sauna and all-natural homemade soaps. Visit the Outside In on Facebook to learn more.
It's 1st and 10 at the Penn, 3rd and 14 at the Penn 39. Buckley wants to throw. And Buckley chucks it downfield, but way overthrows Brock Oldick. And Penn will have to punt once again.
0 for 3 started tonight for Buckley.
Buckley struggling with his footing back there on this muddy field.
Yeah, it doesn't look real bad, but it was raining most of the afternoon. Our crew found that out, didn't they?
They did. Another terrific job by our guys in some difficult weather conditions tonight. So Matthew Zhang lines up to punt. Dallas Ryan's one of the deep men, along with Ben Franck. Zhang handles the snap, and an elevator chute punt that goes end over end and takes a sideways roll, and New Prairie will have terrific field position at the 49-yard line. Only a 12-yard punt for Zhang with no return. And New Prairie has a short field here in a scoreless game with 2:47 to go in the first.
Chuck, we talked about how important special teams can be, and difference right now favors New Prairie. Folks, Estate Recovery Resale and Upscale Resale has furniture, home decor, electronics, and more in stock. Take it home the same day, or they can even deliver for you. Check out both locations. On Lincoln Way, Estate Recovery Resale in Osceola, and Upscale Resale just 2 miles west in Mishawaka.
Handoff Noah Mungia, and Mungia runs into another host of tacklers, including Tommy Paulus, for a pickup of 1. One reason the focus is on Mungia, Kona Ice with info you should know. He's the 3rd leading rusher in the state of Indiana. Right behind Robert Lamar of Clarksville and Dylan Bryant of Western, where Nate Andrews used to coach. Don't forget about Hayden Vineyard over there at Valpo, having a terrific season. So 2nd and 9 for the Cougars right at the midfield stripe. Casey McKim has not been afraid to call pass plays tonight, but we've got flags thrown and whistles blown here. And perhaps there are too many men on the field. Or is it a sideline warning against New Prairie? It's a timeout called by New Prairie with 2:06 to go first quarter, and we'll keep it right here.
And they might have done that, Chuck, because they did have too many guys in the huddle, and if you don't call timeout, you're going to get penalized. So good call there.
And Bo Hunt, let's go down to you for a Bills Heating sideline report. Was our counting accurate?
Unfortunately, Bob's counting was accurate, yes. There was 12 guys on the field, but they did call the timeout in order to avoid that penalty. So, yes, 12 guys on the field. Timeout, no penalty.
All right.
Folks, the Penn Boosters root for the Kingsmen's success tonight and all season. They support all extracurricular activities. It's only $10 a year and it's a great way to show your spirit. Last year, Penn Boosters awarded over $20,000 for academic clubs and teams. Follow them on Facebook or go to pennboosters.org.
And we thank them for sponsoring the Penn starting offense tonight. 2nd and 9 for New Prairie at the midfield stripe in a scoreless game. The winner in the driver's seat in the Northern Indiana Conference Big School Division. Marshall Kamichek looks to throw, steps up in the pocket, going deep, and he overthrows his man. He wanted Ben Franck, but too much arm that time by Kamichek. It'll be 3rd and 9.
2 out of 5 for Kamichek for 25 yards. Chuck, both quarterbacks have tried to throw it deep, and there's been some success on the shorter pass for Kamichek.
Kamichek last week against Arsenal Tech, 5 of 6 for 187 yards and 3 touchdowns. As you look at Casey McKim, the former Valparaiso offensive coordinator, now the head coach here at New Prairie in his 2nd season. Kamichek will look to throw again on 3rd and 9. Lots of time, but nobody's open. Now he fires a bullet over the head, and he's got his man for a first down. That's Ben Franck. Franck working his way up the field. He's to the 33. The first down sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. A pickup of 17 between Kamichek and Franck.
3 out of 6 now for 42 yards in this first quarter.
What impressed me most about the sophomore there, Bob, was the patience that he showed in the backfield, using his feet to buy himself a little bit more time, keeping his eyes downfield to find the open man.
No question about it. Looking like a veteran. He's just a sophomore.
Under 90 seconds to go, first quarter. It's Mungia. Trying to bob and weave through traffic. Picked up about 4 that time, going through the middle of the line.
Hardware Plus is proud supporter of high school sports and has been Osceola's favorite local hardware store for nearly a century, featuring a wide selection of products and customer service experts. Hardware Plus, where service begins with the words, "How can I help you?" and a handshake.
Under a minute to go, first quarter. On 2nd and 6, Mungia has been fairly quiet tonight. We'll see if he can get loose for one here, but it's Kamichek keeping it himself, and Kamichek hit from behind. Goes down just past right on the 30-yard line is where they'll mark it, which will set him up for a 3rd and 1. And New Prairie will have to run one more play here in the first quarter. Marshall Kamichek came into this game with 58 carries on the season. That's about 8 carries a game. Well, he's already had about 4 of them tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah, he said, he's had 3 carries for 19 yards.
Looking at a 3rd and 2. Look at this setup by New Prairie. You think they might want to be running right here? And it is. Mungia right behind the right side of that line. Battles his way for a first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine, as he takes it up to the 25-yard line, and that's the way the first quarter will come to an end at Amzie Miller Field in New Carlisle. The emotions are high for senior night and a chance to knock off the Penn Kingsmen. And the New Prairie Cougars trying to get a whiteout, but right now the scoreboard is lights out. 0-0 after 1 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. They sponsor our sideline report. Bo Hunt, your thought on this one through the first 12 minutes?
I knew exactly what we were going to get into coming over here. Two very balanced teams, two teams that match up with each other very well, and that's what we've seen kind of back and forth right now from either team. The line of scrimmage is one of the things I always look at down here, and it's really been balanced both sides. A little bit of the offense winning sometimes, the defense winning sometimes. So we'll see what happens here as we go through the second quarter, guys.
1st and 10. They spot the ball at the 14-yard line. It's Kamichek keeping it himself, in trouble, and down he goes in the backfield. Great penetration by the Penn defense that time, as A.J. Steenbeck came in to make the tackle from the linebacker spot, the 5'10 junior.
Folks, make your morning shine with a visit to Monterey Mexican Restaurant in Mishawaka. Discover authentic Mexican breakfast dishes made daily just like the rest of the menu and served right alongside classic American dishes. Monterey, make Monterey Mexican your destination.
2nd and 10 from the 14. Two receivers to the left of Kamichek. Munguia switches over there as well. Kamichek running that way. Has a little bit of room. Little bouncy step up to the 9-yard line. So Marshall Kamichek, actually they'll spot it around the 8. That's a pickup of 6 for the nimble New Prairie quarterback.
24 yards now here in the first half for Kamichek. He ran for 55 last week.
He's very well balanced, I think, in his approach. He's shown himself to be a strong dual threat quarterback here tonight. Looking at a 3rd and 3. Kamichek takes a snap, leaps forward, and he will be short of the first down marker as they spot it right at the 5-yard line. He had to get to the 4. And Casey McKim has a decision to make here on 4th and 1. Take another look here on the R&B Car Company replay. That hurdle reminiscent of a move Chase Ketterer made against Mishawaka a couple of years ago. It's also highly illegal.
Folks, Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a proud supporter of high school sports in Michiana. They know all about teamwork as they provide components for the aerospace industry as well as medical, automotive, and military and defense. IFT is excited about the future and very proud of its past, celebrating over 60 years of excellence. At IFT, quality is is the way of life.
Kamichek carries for the first down on 4th and 2. It's sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. And New Prairie is looking at a 1st and goal from the 2-yard line as you get another look from R&B Car Company. Everybody bid on Munguia, and a nice play fake to Ben Franck opened up some running room for Kamichek. 1st and goal from the 2. Kamichek keeps it himself. Can he make it to the goal line? No. Penn closing down just short of the stripe. Great pursuit that time by the Kingsmen.
Yeah, they put a wall up there right about the 1.5-yard line.
It was Jalen Alexander who came in and made the stop from the cornerback position. 2nd and goal from the 1. A long drive for the Cougars that started around midfield, and New Prairie wants to use another timeout right here with 8:48 to go first half, but we'll keep it here.
Folks, when it's time for your next move, contact Kent Guy with Weichert Realtors. Kent is licensed in Indiana and Michigan and has over 25 years experience. Mention hearing this in the game tonight, you'll receive $500 off your listing. Whether you're buying or selling, if results count, Kent is your guy.
The Penn Kingsmen have yet to give up a touchdown in NIC play. In their 4 non-conference games, they allowed 33.5 points per game. but they have allowed just 2 points per game in NIC play. 3 consecutive games with no touchdowns allowed, but that is being threatened here with New Prairie looking at 2nd and goal from the 1, but a little factoid brought to us by our friends at Kona Ice.
That defense for Penn's been on the field for 12 minutes of the 16 minutes have been played, so their offense has had it twice and unable to do much.
1 first down. Yeah. So here's New Prairie with a chance to take the lead. Mungia in the backfield with Kamichek, and Matt Kowalski shows you just how short the distance is they have to go. It's Kamichek going on his own and into the end zone for a New Prairie touchdown. It's sponsored by Old School Tile Company, and the Cougars strike first. Kamichek with his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. You get another look from R&B Car Company, and those big hogs up front made just enough room. Mungia got his head in there too to do some blocking.
Outstanding.
KC Tree sponsors the extra point. Trenton Chalik on to try the PAT. The snap is good, the kick is up, and it is good. 8:45 to go in the first half. And number 9, New Prairie, runs it right at the Penn Kingsman. Marshall Kamichek did most of the damage, and he found pay dirt as well. 7-0 New Prairie on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to us by our friends at St. Andrews Products, providing quality apparel to the PGA and to the 46 Sports Crew.
Really appreciate their efforts. Folks, Royal Excursion is a proud supporter of high school athletics. Whether you're for a wedding or a school event, team or corporate travel, family or social event, Royal Excursion lets you enjoy the ride. Whether a day trip or cross-country travel, arrive in style with Royal Excursion.
Ben Franck does the kickoff for New Prairie. It's sponsored by KC Tree. Alec Hardrick is the deep man for Penn. Kingsmen find themselves trailing in a Northern Indiana Conference game for the first time all season. A high spinner that Hardrick takes it as 3. He's quick, he's got room, and he could go. It's Hardrick versus Franck, and Franck brings him down at the 46. An electric play by Alec Hardrick and a 51-yard return. You'll see the replay at real speed, which is what Alec Hardrick has.
Well, I'll tell you what, when he got loose, Franck did a great job of backpedaling just enough so he could make the stop.
So the kicker with the big stop for New Prairie, but Penn with excellent field position in Cougar territory for the first time tonight.
Kind of flipped the field right there. That's what we're talking about, special teams.
Corey Yeoman puts a lot of time on in those in practice. Buckley will hand it off to Hardrick on the stretch handoff, and Hardrick with room to run. Gets to the outside. Hardrick out of bounds at the 23-yard line. A first down sponsored by Klein Custom Homes, and a run of 23 yards for the speedy Penn Junior All-American rugby player. The amazing thing about this run by Hardrick is it's on natural grass on a bit of a muddy turf. If he had artificial turf to cut on, look out.
Got 40 yards and just a 3 carries tonight.
He just brings another dimension to this Penn offense. Ryan Buckley has not completed a pass yet tonight. He won't have to here. He hands off to Hardrick, who makes a right turn and heads right up the middle of the field for another first down, sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. Alec Hardrick takes it up to the 12, a pickup of 11 on the play.
And that moves the chains. Folks, Kona Ice says, we're mobile, we're fun, we're stocked with the most delicious flavors you've ever tasted. Visit Kona-ice.com to book your party.
So Penn knocking at the door, 1st and 10 from the 11. First time they've had back-to-back first downs tonight. Buckley signaling the play. And it's Hardrick again up the middle. Couldn't squirt through that time as they bring him down at about the 8-yard line. Good conversion that time by the New Prairie defenses. Brandon Daisy, the linebacker, was able to get in there and make the stop. You see all those Cougar stickers on the helmets for big hits and good plays on both sides of the ball.
Well, Penn really get the accelerator after that touchdown by New Prairie. Their defense needed not only for them to score, but to give them a break.
2nd and 7, Hardrick weaving his way up the field, spins away from a man, keeps those legs driving to the 5-yard line. Finally, Tavion Ortman, the leading tackler on this New Prairie defense, brings him down. You get another look from R&B Car Company at the persistent running by Hardrick. He's only 140 pounds, but boy, does he have some strong legs.
Held on to the ball nicely.
3rd and 3 from the 5. Now Hardrick, I don't know if he's injured. Buckley over talking to him. Play clock down to 5. It's Hardrick going through traffic. He's brought down on the 3. Bo Hunt, what was the problem down there with Alec Hardrick?
He just lost his shoe on that last play. It got pulled off, and he was just trying to get his shoe back on. I think he was trying to catch a breather, too.
So now Hunter Whitenack comes into the game for goal line defense for New Prairie. Penn wants a timeout to think about it. It's sponsored by Monterey Mexican. It'll be 4th and 2 from the 3.
Klein Custom Homes is Michiana's premier home builder. Come visit one of our exclusive neighborhoods or let Klein Custom Homes build on your property anywhere in Michiana. For more information, visit us at KleinCustomHomes.com.
A reminder coming up on Sunday on the internet, IHSA.tv. We'll have the 2021 tournament draw, and that will have all the pairings from 1A to 6A, so you'll want to tune in 5 o'clock for the IHSA tournament pairings. I know I'll be glued to the screen.
No question about it. Of course, Penn we already know gets a bye in the first round, the 6A teams, and 5A get a pass in the first round, but boy, it'll be great to see what's going on in 4A, and then 3A. We should have some great matchups.
By the way, I will try to tweet, Facebook, and Instagram all those pairings as much as possible.
Folks, the Glenn Schultz Agency has over 32 years of experience offering auto and home, life, and business insurance with agents in Mishawaka, Goshen, and Plymouth. They'll work with you to identify your needs and provide coverage. Glenn Schultz Agency, protecting your dreams.
There you take a look at the 330-pounder Hunter Whitenack in for goal line defense as Penn looks at a 4th and 2 from the New Prairie 3-yard line. Zach Lane comes in along with Alec Hardrick in the backfield. It's a pitch to Lane, trying to get to the outside, and nothing doing. Jacob Myers brings him down, and New Prairie holds on downs. What a play by the New Prairie defense on 4th and 2. They put Lane in the game and tried to use Hardrick as a blocker, and Myers chases him down from defensive end.
Wow, big play right there.
Well, you'll get a chance to hear from Jacob Myers at halftime, one of our TCU student athletes of the week on the Bonnie Doon Drive-In halftime report. So now New Prairie has to start in the shadow of its own goalpost. It's 1st and 10 from the 6, but they still have the 7-0 lead midway through the second. Kamichek wants to throw, and Seth Jankowski nearly had the interception. Oh, he read that like Evelyn Woods.
3 out of 7 now for 42 yards for Kamichek.
R&B Car Company shows you the break that Jankowski got on the ball.
The original Bonnie Doon Drive-In on Lincoln Way has all your favorites. Stop by this weekend for delicious Bonnie Burger, fries, and root beer float. For over 83 years, Bonnie Doon has been part of the community. Great food and rich, creamy ice cream make Bonnie Doon a favorite for a cool treat. Open this season still till October 30th. Check Facebook for daily specials.
2nd and 10, Kamichek keeps it himself, and a flag comes in behind the play after a pickup of 2. And that may be indicative of a hold.
Yeah, we've had a few flags here tonight.
And they've all been basically the same thing.
Yep.
The good news there is half the distance to the goal line isn't that far, as you see the bubbles flying here at Amzie Miller Field.
Second penalty of the night on the Cougars.
And they'll decline it because it was only a 1-yard pickup on the play, so Corey Yeoman wants to move things along here with a 3rd and 8. Kingsmen sniff a chance to get the ball back here. Kamichek looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Another flag comes in as Kamichek is sacked back at the 5. This will likely be a hold against New Prairie, and it will likely be declined. So the Kingsmen get the sack back at the 5-yard line, and now New Prairie will have to punt out of its own end zone.
Well, you talk about teams stepping up on defense. New Prairie did it. Now Penn right back at him.
There was the hold called on Mrzinski, but it didn't stop Sam Sullivan from coming in and getting the sack, his 4th of the year.
The New Prairie Athletic Department would like to thank our student athletes, coaches, staff, parents, and all the fans for all they do to help support and promote education-based athletics. New Prairie, the Cougars doing special things.
The punt here sponsored by KC Tree. Ben Franck standing back at his own goal line, dropped the football, and it goes straight up in the air. There's a flag thrown on the play, though. I don't know if Penn actually blocked it or roughed the kicker. The ball will roll to the 21-yard line, but Ben Franck says it's roughing the kicker. We'll see. It is running into the kicker. It will still be 4th down. You get another look from R&B Car Company. The ball not touched. The leg was, but they said that Michael Paquette didn't rough him. They merely touched the leg.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. The officials doing a good job tonight. That was a good call. But, boy, Ben Franck, you know, that ball gets on the ground in your own end zone, you're just in a panic, and he did a good job to try to get it out of there.
And now you have to kind of take a deep breath, recompose, and see if you can do it again here, still from your own end zone. And this time, Franck with an end-over-end kick that Hardrick will take on his knees at the 43-yard line. So again, great field position for the Kingsmen, but they have yet to put points on the board.
When in New Carlisle, folks, stop in and visit Charles Maris Hardware, your local family-owned and operated hardware store that's been serving Indiana for over 100 years. For all your fall cleanup needs and quality True Value products, visit Charles Maris Hardware in downtown New Carlisle.
So Penn looking at a 1st and 10 from the New Prairie 43. Since the Cougar touchdown, this game has been played in New Prairie territory. Buckley with a long count, has time, slings it for a incomplete pass. It was dropped by the intended receiver, Matt Fulton. Buckley threw a bullet, but Fulton had just enough contact to separate him from the football. It'll be 2nd and 10.
0 for 4 so far tonight, passing for the Kingsmen.
But of the passes, that was Buckley's best of the night.
Yep, and picked a little shorter route, which we think has been a little more open.
And he has a strong arm. He's a catcher on the Penn baseball team. Gage Goralski in at tight end, flexed to the right of Buckley. And Buckley will hand it off to Alec Hardrick, who finds a seam in the line and then is stopped after a pickup of about 8. Tavion Ortman leads the host of blue jerseys at Hardrick.
68 yards rushing for Hardrick here in the first half. Folks, the New Prairie Touchdown Club would like to wish the football players and coaches of New Prairie all the good luck and best wishes for the game and the rest of the season. We hope you have a successful journey as you work to get to Indianapolis. Go Cougars from the New Prairie Touchdown Club.
3rd and 3. Kingsman would appear to be in 4-down territory here, barring a sack. Buckley gives it to Hardrick, a little bit of momentum, and he got the first down. It's sponsored by Klein Custom Homes as he gets just past the 33-yard line, and Alec Hardrick moves the chains for the Penn offense. That was part of Corey Yeoman's game plan tonight, trying to keep possessions going.
Well, and they're in New Prairie territory for the second time, and they need to capitalize here. They're down to just about 4 minutes to go first half.
7-0 Cougar lead, scoring on a Marshall Kamichek 1-yard touchdown run. Again, Buckley signals the play. Buckley sets up, fires, has his man, and the completion to Brock Oldrick. Ben Frank is there to stop him as Oldrick picks up his 5th reception of the season and takes it forward to, well, looks like about the 27-yard line. No, the spot at the 25. That's a pickup of 8. Brady Burnett also in on that stop for New Prairie that time. Penn looking at a 2nd and 2.
Might be licensed to try one deep here.
Chewing up a lot of clock here in the second quarter. Buckley with the handoff to Hardrick. Kind of a slow developing play, but Hardrick's patience pays off as he takes it up to the 20-yard line. Another first down sponsored by Klein Custom Homes, and a 5-yard pickup for Alec Hardrick.
Hardrick was 76 yards rushing here in his first half. Folks, Old School Tile Company in Hudson Lake is the area's leading hard service floor and wall store, specializing in kitchen and bath tile and LVP. They have over 50 years experience in the industry and is one of the nicest showrooms in the tri-state area. Old School Tile Company. Enter as a customer, leave as a friend.
Thank them for sponsoring our pre- and post-game shows tonight. 1st and 10 from the 19. Buckley wants to throw under pressure. Buckley is able to get away and fires. It's incomplete. He was looking for Gage Goralski, the tight end. Some of the New Prairie faithful wanted a holding call on that one.
Sure did. KC Tree Incorporated is a fully bonded and insured professional tree service company specializing in storm damage and difficult tree removal. KC Tree also handles stump grinding, crane work, and small lot clearing in both residential and commercial jobs. Serving all of Michiana, give them a call, 574-674-7722 for more information. Been handling all your tree service needs for 35 years.
2nd and 10 from the 19. And a flag thrown. Delay of game called against Penn. The Kingsmen took too long to get the play in from the sidelines.
They've been close a couple of times tonight. Just a second penalty tonight.
Oh, they wave off the flag because Penn called a timeout just before the penalty. The timeout sponsored by Monterey Mexican. We'll keep it right here and hear from more of our sponsors.
I tell you what, we got great support again tonight. I want to thank the folks from TCU. They will sponsor our halftime feature, our student athletes of the week. And TCU is a better banking opportunity for you where you'll get the latest technology and you're never too far from a friendly face. Discover the TCU advantage. Become a member today at tcunet.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
The Northern Lakes Conference has boiled down to one game next week at Jake Field. Bart Curtis will bring his Tigers up from Warsaw to take on Craig Kaler and the Concord Minutemen, and the winner of that game will walk out of there with the Northern Lakes Conference Championship. So it's Warsaw and Concord. We'll have it for you next Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports, TV 46. So maybe an NIC title decided tonight, NLC title, and then we just jump right into the tournament. Not a bad 3 weeks.
No, I tell you what, Barty, you pointed out a big number there for Warsaw. 100 yards difference in favor of them defensively this season.
Although Northwood gave them all they could handle tonight down at Fisher Field. Jumping around on the line of scrimmage. Flag thrown, and that'll be encroachment against the Cougars and cost them 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
18 yards for New Prairie on penalties. 10 still for Penn. They called a couple of those back.
2nd and 5 from the 14. It's Hardrick up the middle, ran into a blue wall. Nothing doing that time. Jacob Mrzinski has had enough. And Mrzinski, normally an offensive guard, but he's had some time as a running back and now getting some time as a defensive lineman.
Well, I mean, he wrapped him up.
That's 257 versus 140. That's not a very good matchup.
Let me do some math on that.
3rd and 5 from the 14. Buckley with 3 receivers to his right. Bleeding the play clock again. It's down to 5. Buckley rolls right. Under pressure, got away from one man. Now he's just going to heave it out of bounds. And Penn will either go for it on 4th and 5 or make a field goal attempt with Braden Primrose. Take another look at how close they were to getting Buckley down right here as Mrzinski came barreling through, and a good stiff arm by Buckley kept him at bay.
Well, do you take the field goal here, partner, to get on the board? We'll see.
Corey Yeoman decides he's going to go for it. On 4th and 5, remember, New Prairie has already had 1 4th down stop in the red zone tonight in this quarter. Can they get a second one here? And Penn just got the snap off, but it didn't do any good. Mrzinski, no, timeout called by Penn right before the play. They burned their last timeout.
That was a good idea to do that.
It's sponsored by Monterey Mexican.
Folks, the celebration continues October 16th at Moser's Austrian Cafe with the German band playing. They continue the official Oktoberfest celebration. Authentic, made from scratch German food and a friendly, relaxed atmosphere make Moser's the place to be in New Carlisle. Margaret and the staff cordially invite you to dine this weekend at Moser's Austrian Cafe in New Carlisle. Reservations are always recommended.
Kona Ice sponsors our factoids tonight, and we show you the NIC big school standings. You know, they used to call it the North-South. Now they call it the East-West. I think it's just too confusing. So I go big school, small school when I talk about the NIC. And the big school standings have Penn at 3-0, New Prairie, Elkhart, and Marion. Now, Elkhart and Marion played each other tonight, so one of those teams will still only have 1 loss. If New Prairie pulls this out, it's chaos.
Yeah. With a capital K.
4th and 5. Buckley wants to throw, sets up, and it's incomplete, but flags are thrown. Matt Fulton was interfered with by New Prairie. Hunter Groves called for the pass interference. It'll be a 1st down sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. You'll get another look. Groves comes right over the top here, and it's the hammer to the helmet that got the call.
I'm innocent. No, you're not.
So half the distance to the goal line, marks it at the 7. Penn is out of timeouts, but they have it 1st and goal from the New Prairie 7 with 1:23 you see on the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Buckley again looking to the sidelines. Alec Hardrick to his left. Play action. Buckley has a man wide open. Gage Goralski into the end zone. Touchdown, Penn. Gage Goralski's 1st catch of the season. The sophomore makes a touchdown grab and pulls the Kingsmen to within a point of tying this one up.
Good play execution that time by Penn, and I tell you what, Buckley did a good job of selling that. Faked the handoff up the middle, then rolled out, looked like he was going to run like he has all night. The defender came for him, and he just tossed it up to a wide open man.
Beautifully designed play, and Goralski did his job as well, sold the block and then just did a little pivot to the outside and took it on in. Braden Primrose is on to try the extra point out of the hold of backup quarterback Nolan McCullough. And the whistle's blown and flags thrown. I think somebody jumped. And it's offsides against the Cougars. Is Corey Yeoman tempted to put his offense back out on the field from the 1? Apparently not.
I could say he doesn't have a timeout, so if he's going to do it, he needs to be ready to do it.
Instead, Primrose will try a little 18-yard boot right here. Snap and set down are all good, and the kick is too. 1:17 to go before the intermission. Penn and New Prairie are tied at 7, and I want you to watch this play, folks, on the R&B Car Company replay. Goralski just drifting out there. Nice little block by the offensive lineman, Brendan Huffman, and Goralski just walks over to the TV photog.
Folks, Lock Monday Realty is proud to support the Kingsmen. Mike specializes in condominium and HOA property management, as well as rental management on luxury single-family homes, and even offers a discount for condo owners who list for sale. Lock Monday Realty. Find your new home today.
Bo Hunt, I want to come to you for a Bills hitting sideline report. You mentioned earlier the even play along the line of scrimmage. But whereas in the first quarter, New Prairie had the ball most of the time, Penn has found a way to ball control here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they definitely have. And one of the biggest things you just pointed out there was that offensive line. Penn was able to actually get a little bit of momentum on that offensive line and get a push. But again, a lot of this was set up on that Hardwick punt return 2 series ago. And really, Penn's been able to keep it in their New Prairie's territory this whole second half, guys.
So Matthew Zhang will do the kickoff here for the Penn Kingsmen. Dallas Ryans is the deep man for New Prairie. Cougars do have 1 timeout left. Zhang booms one, and Ryans takes the line drive back at his 10. Oh, and upended beautifully that time on a nice open field tackle by A.J. Steenbeck at about the 25-yard line. So that's where New Prairie will set up, and let's see how aggressive Casey McKim is with this last 73 seconds of the first half.
Well, one thing if they'd run it out near midfield, but you got to be a little bit careful here in your own territory after just a terrific first half of action. Both teams have had some big moments. They've had some penalties, but 2 of the top teams in the conference going at it as you would expect.
And the defenses have been pretty dominant so far in a 7-7 game. Munguia has some room to run, and he's upended on a beautiful tackle by Taylor Bauer. After Munguia runs for the first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. You get another look from R&B Car Company as New Prairie goes into the hurry-up offense. Minute to go, first half. Munguia again trying to bob his way to the outside, and this time Penn able to hang on and make the tackle. Michael Paquette was in there battling along with A.J. Steenbeck. And that might cause the Cougars to think about how quickly they want to get to the line of scrimmage here.
31 yards rushing here in the first half for Munguia. Boy, every time they fake the ball to him, it opens up other things.
If you were going to air it out, this would be the play with Kamichek. And he does want to pass. He's going to scramble now, running towards the sidelines, and he gets out of bounds at the 48-yard line. That's good enough based on that spot to get the first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine, just past the 47. 15 seconds left here in the first half. New Prairie does have 1 timeout left, so that leaves the middle of the field open.
Gage Auto on Lincoln Way in Mishawaka is proud to sponsor tonight's game. Gage Auto has over 50 cars in stock, specializes in clean cars under $10,000. They have financing available as well. Stop by Gage Auto across from Twin Branch Elementary School or see their inventory at Facebook, Gage.
Kamichek with Hayden Clark up at the top of your screen. Kamichek looking to that side, throwing up, and Hayden Clark tried for the one-hand grab, couldn't make it. Defended well by Andrew Phillips on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 with 8 seconds left here in the first half. New Prairie, maybe a time for about a 15 to 20 yard strike and then call the timeout right away to get the field goal unit out there.
Well, we'll see. I'll tell you one thing about Marshall Kamichek. Every ball he's thrown tonight has been on target. A strong arm, that young man.
Penn dropping 7 here. Kamichek steps up in the pocket, wants to throw, now has to run. Kamichek has the first down, but time has expired here in the first half. The first down sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. So we've reached halftime at Amzie Miller Field in New Carlisle with Penn and New Prairie tied at 7 apiece. And Bo Hunt not able to get a word with the head coach of the Cougars, so the teams will run off. And we'll check in with Bo as we start the second half. In the meantime, both defenses played well, but the offenses got just enough on the board. Marshall Kamichek and Ryan Buckley each led their team on 1 touchdown drive, and it's 7-7 as we go to the Bonnie Doon Drive-In halftime report on 46.
Welcome, everyone, back to Amzie Miller Field here at New Prairie, where we get a chance to honor our student-athletes of the week. Brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. Well, as always, outstanding representatives of the school are with us. Jacob Myers is with us from New Prairie High School, and Matthew Zhang is here from Penn High School. Matthew, we'll talk to you first. Congratulations on not only being our award winner, but so many awards. You've done a great job.
Thank you so much.
Talk about what that takes to have that discipline, time management to make all your priorities work.
Well, combining football and academics is certainly a challenge, but through this process, I've definitely learned a lot about my time management skills, and I've improved it very well. I've done my homework on time, and overall, so far, it's been a successful year, both in football and in academics for me.
You've done a great job, and you haven't picked a college yet, but you got a lot of people talking to you. That's a nice situation to have.
Yeah, right now I'm undecided on a college, but I've always been a Notre Dame fan throughout my entire childhood, and be a blessing to go to Notre Dame to play. I've also been a fan of like Stanford and MIT. Those schools are really interesting to me in the field of software engineering and artificial intelligence. So that's another option that I've been considering.
That's awesome. Your family, everybody's been behind you all during your journey. Talk about the people that mattered in your life.
I'd definitely like to give a shout out to my parents. Right now, they're not here watching me. My dad's working in New York right now, but I'd really like to give a shout out to my parents because they've been supporting me throughout this entire process. I remember back in 6th grade or in 4th grade, I wanted to play rocket football, and I had a really long discussion with them, but in the end, they allowed me to play football and allowed me to embark on this epic journey to where I am today.
Well, that's great. We wish you all the luck in the world down the road, and certainly the rest of this season. They're an outstanding young man. Very proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, Matthew Zhang from Penn High School. What a resume he's got, and this guy's not far behind. Jacob Myers. Jacob, you've done a great job as well, academically as well as with athletics. You're involved in football and basketball.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. What's it take? You know, that's 2 full-time sports because basketball and football are almost year-round now. How do you handle that?
It's a lot of time management. I mean, it's always like right after another. So as soon as I'm done with football, I got to go straight to basketball, and then as soon as that's done, and get in the weight room to get ready for football the next year.
You've been pretty successful here at New Prairie. You've had a lot of successes in teams in basketball and also in football. What else are you involved with here on campus?
I do National Honor Society. I joined that last year and been doing like volunteer work for that.
What your plans for college? I know you have a specific area you want to study, but not sure where you're going.
No, I'm not too sure yet. I visited a few schools, and I'm just looking for a big, like an engineering school, really.
Nuclear engineering.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to me. Learned about it in chemistry 1 year, and really taken by it.
Well, that's awesome. And later on, you have to explain to me what that is. But talk about the people who have mattered in your life and helped you along the way.
Really, my parents, my grandparents have been huge. I mean, for a while, they've got me everywhere. I wouldn't be anywhere without them.
Congratulate you on your success, and certainly wish you all the best, and congratulations on what you've done here at New Prairie.
Thank you so much.
All righty. Matthew Zhang is with us, and also Jacob Myers from New Prairie. Our Student Athletes of the Week brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. We're back with halftime stats and highlights in a moment. You're watching the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for over 30 years. The New Prairie Marching Cougars entertaining the crowd here on senior night at halftime. 7-7 football game between Penn and New Prairie. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray. Partner, we expected a defensive battle. It has not disappointed.
No, it really hasn't, and I think there's some strange numbers in our stats. We'll say that in a moment as far as Penn being outgained in the first half. It doesn't happen very often. But there were some big plays on 4th down and goal, and we've got some great highlights to look at.
In fact, let's show you how it got to be this way here at Amzie Miller Field. New Prairie drew first blood, converting on a big 4th down conversion. Marshall Kamichek with the carry, and he said that worked so well, I'll take it in myself from the 1-yard line. 4th touchdown of the year made it 7-0 Cougars. But on the ensuing kickoff, Ben Franck kicked it deep to Alec Hardrick, who took the ball at his own 3 and used his blazing speed to take it 51 yards up the field and into New Prairie territory. In fact, Franck, the kicker, had to make the touchdown-saving tackle. And it did save a touchdown because later on 4th down, Zach Lane was stopped by Jacob Myers. New Prairie stopped on that possession, but they couldn't stop the Kingsmen here. Ryan Buckley to Gabe Goralski, and the sophomore tight end takes it in for the score. 7-7 at the intermission. Okay, you promised some amazing numbers. Let's see them.
Well, there were some amazing numbers. You know, that kickoff return kind of offset the 12-yard punt that they had, so special teams wound up just about even. But the rushing yards certainly favored New Prairie in this first half, as they had 92 yards rushing, 42 yards passing. Not much of the passing category for the Kingsmen tonight. Total yards favor New Prairie. Time of possession was big, though. 14-19 for New Prairie, just 9:41 for Penn. And no turnovers in the first half. First downs 8-3, kind of reflecting the yardage. But I'll tell you what, there aren't many teams that outgained Penn offensively in a half, and New Prairie did that, and they possessed the ball. A lot of good things that they did, but again, 7-7 here at halftime.
The winner winds up in the driver's seat of the Northern Indiana Conference. So who will it be? The second half will determine it, with New Prairie and Penn tied at 7. This has been the Bonnie Doon Drive-In Halftime Report. The 46 Game of the Week continues after this. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. 7-7 ball game as we get ready to start the third quarter. Let's go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. There's Bo Hunt, and you had a chance to talk with Casey McKim at halftime. What were his thoughts?
Well, we knew coming in this game, these two teams were going to be very evenly matched. They go in 7-7, and I asked Casey, you know, coming out of that halftime, what did you talk about and what kind of adjustments did you make in a very balanced team? And he goes, simply, we need to finish drives. He goes, we had opportunities to go down and score, and we just weren't able to finish drives. And we just talked about the little things at halftime and making sure that we do those little things properly in the second half, and we can win this ball game, guys.
Little things huge in a game like this.
Both teams had 4 possessions in that first half. Well, New Prairie had the possession at the end of last minute, but pretty even in a lot of ways. Big plays on defense for both teams, and certainly we talked about special teams being so important, could be the difference in this game. And we passed up a couple opportunities for field goals in this game, but coaches wanted to go for it. We got a 7-7 game, moving toward a classic, and we can certainly
enjoy watching this one again and again.
So a reminder, Penn is unbeaten in NIC play. They're 3-0 in the big school division. New Prairie, Elkhart, and Marion all tied at 2-1 entering the evening. So the winner of this one sits firmly in the driver's seat, especially if it's Penn. They would only have to get past South Bend Adams next Friday night at TCU Free Field. If New Prairie wins, they will go and play Elkhart next week. So and Elkhart in quite the tussle with Marion tonight.
Yeah, so the chaos could go on another week.
Corey Oman said before the game, it would be quite the achievement for these seniors on this Penn team after that 0-4 start, after a lot of people were just dogging them for those losses to national powers like Cathedral and St. Xavier. But the fact of the matter is they were 0-4. For that group of seniors to come back and win an NIC title would be a great achievement.
And to have a chance at a winning record on the season after that start. And that's what the plan is certainly for Penn. Bo had some nice insight down there. I just, one important number in that first half was no turnovers for either team. Any team can't afford to do that here tonight. And the penalty yardage was minimal. So there were a couple of calls that helped each team, but we got ourselves a well-coached, well-played game first half behind us.
If there was an area where Penn had an advantage in the first half, I think it was the special teams with the Hardrick punt return and the opening kick going out of bounds. It helped dictate field position. We'll see if they can do that here with Matthew Zhang kicking off. Dallas Ryans is back deep for New Prairie. And the third quarter action about to get underway at AMC Miller Field in New Carlisle. Zhang with a boomer. Ryan's all the way back at his goal line. And Ryan's taken down by a heat-seeking missile that time for Penn. Coming in to make the stop was Jalen Alexander.
Boy, that hole.
And Jacob Bayless, too.
That hole filled up in a hurry, didn't it? Looked like he had a little bit of running room.
So Bayless with a terrific open field tackle that time on special teams. And it's 1st and 10 back at the 15 for New Prairie.
Another positive special teams play for Penn.
Kamichek operating from the pistol. Bad snap. Oh, it was Ben Frank back there in Wildcat. And Frank, running for his life, is brought down inside the 5. So Casey McKim went into the bag of tricks. The execution was not good, and Andrew Phillips comes up with a big stop as you get another look on the R&B Car Company replay.
Frank had trouble handling a punt snap in the end zone, and that one almost turned into a big mistake.
So loss of 11 on the play makes it 2nd and 21 from the 4. And all of a sudden, New Prairie finds itself trying to dig out of a hole here. Kamichek back in there at quarterback. And he's going to try to run with it. Got a little bit of a block and took it across the 5 to the 7 before the Penn defense stonewalled him there. Sam Sullivan with one of the tackles on the play.
Home Force is a proud sponsor of high school athletics. Home Force offers everything from earthwork and demolition to new construction, additions, and remodeling. If you want a new deck or your siding or roof replaced, call Home Force for all your home's needs.
3rd and 18. Let's see how daring Casey McKim gets back here. He will let Kamichek try to throw it, and Kamichek with a bullet to Ben Frank for a first down, all the way up to the 40-yard line. Pick up a 33 on the play and a first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. Kamichek to Frank, get another look at Ben's 9th catch of the year. Beautiful route that time. They'll spot it actually at the 38.
Wow, what a big play. 75 yards passing now in the ball game for Kamichek.
That's one of the better throws we've seen from any quarterback so far this
all
season.
long.
You have to go back to Korfmacher at Lakeshore.
Yeah, I think Frank wanted to make a play.
1st and 10 at the 38. It's Frank out of the Wildcat here, battling for yardage, but just none to be had. He only got 1 yard before Michael Paquette reached up and brought him down. Paquette, the all-NIC track star last year, has a 4.14 GPA.
Abe's Complete Plumbing Service is proud to support the Kingsmen tonight. Whether your needs are residential, commercial, or industrial, Abe's has you covered. They handle installation, repair, and replacement, as well as offering 24/7 emergency service. Visit abescompleteplumbing.com for more information.
2nd and 9. Spotted at the 39. It's Kamichek in play action. Flush from the pocket. Now he's going to fire it down the field, but it's over the head of Ben Frank and incomplete. Kamichek did put that ball in an area where either Frank was going to catch it or nobody else, and that's a good throw.
Well, even his incomplete passes look pretty good. He's got a nice ability to square his shoulders, turn his hips upfield, and keep that ball in play. So, bought himself some time too, partner.
He's throwing the ball much better than we saw him throw it last year for New Prairie. Of course, that game last year in the playoffs against Plymouth was his first high school start. I'm sure the adrenaline and jitters were both flowing.
I would think so.
3rd and 9. Kamichek wants to throw again. Steps up, airing it out down the field for Hayden Clark. He's got it at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 from the Billy Goat, 9 and 9. A pickup of 46 yards on the play for Hayden Clark, his 8th grab of the year.
5 out of 11 now.
He got behind Seth Jankowski, and folks, that doesn't happen very often.
119 yards passing, and boy, what a turn. They really flipped the field. They were back at their own 4-yard line after the first play. Wow.
1st and 10 from the Penn 15. Kamichek cuts inside, only picked up about 2 that time. Penn getting very tough against the run. Last man up from the bottom of the pile that time.
I want to thank the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. They offer 10 big screen TVs airing all your favorite sports programming. So if you enjoy the GOAT, then maybe look into becoming one of their team members. Job applications are now being accepted. The Billy Goat 9 and Dine in New Carlisle. Brought to you by your hosts, Sharon and George Peterson. Now celebrating 10 years in business.
On 2nd and 8, Noah Mungia, who has had a quiet night, is brought down on an ankle tackle by Taylor Bauer after a pickup of 4. That'll take it inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4 from there for New Prairie.
That might be Bauer's first carry of the night.
Oh, it was Mungia on the carry, Bauer on the tackle.
Yeah. That would explain it.
3rd and 5 from the 10. And a flag thrown, an encroachment against Penn as the man went in motion. Wow, that could be a 1st down for New Prairie. Sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine, and it is, as it'll be 1st and goal from the Kingsman 5.
You know, we thank the folks from Billy Goat 9 and Dine and folks from Moses. Boy, our crew's never been fed this well. I don't think in the history of our program.
Man in motion. Kamichek to Mungia. He's tripped up at the 3-yard line. A.J. Steenbeck in on the tackle that time for the Kingsmen after a pickup of 2 for Noah Mungia.
And they're running some clock. We've had the ball for the entire 3rd quarter so far.
Over 5 minutes burned off the clock on this drive, but they've got to be able to turn it into points. 2nd and goal from the 4. Casey McKim talked about finishing drives with Bo at halftime. Kamichek ran into his own man and then lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. There was not the high level of execution that McKim is looking for, and it winds up being a loss of 1 on the play.
63 yards rushing tonight for Kamichek.
Clark and Sanders check back into the lineup for New Prairie, which might be indicative of this being a pass play.
Well, you show them the pass play and then maybe run a quarterback draw or Mungia up the middle. New Prairie has executed well for most of the night.
3rd and 4. It's Kmiechek on a designed run, and he can't get there. A.J. Steenbeck having a heck of a game at linebacker, chases him down at the 3-yard line. 4th and goal from here, so Casey McKim, you've got a good kicker in front. What are you going to do? He's going to send the field goal unit out there.
Well, got a chance to take the lead in the third quarter against Penn. Not a bad idea at all.
Ben Frank is 3 of 3 on field goal attempts so far this season. His long is 38 this year. His career long came against Penn last year, a 56-yarder. This will be a 20-yard attempt. Out of the hold of Cole Staley. Snap and set down are good. The kick is up, and it is good. 5:13 to go in the third quarter. And Ben Frank gets the Cougars on the lead. It was a Marshall Kmiechek bomb to Hayden Clark for 46 yards that set it up. Then Frank through the uprights for 3, and the Cougars lead at 10-7 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. And there you see their banner right here at the home of the Cougars, Amzie Miller Field, down there by those unsalted pretzels. Put some salt on those bad boys.
Jim Hammer and his great team from Imagineering supporting high school athletics all over northern Indiana. Terrific sponsor.
By the way, Old School Tile Company sponsored that field goal by Ben Frank, and KC Tree sponsoring the kickoff here by Frank. Last time he kicked it deep to Hardrick, who nearly took it to the house. He's going to try it again, but this one will go into the end zone for the touchback. So if you're going to kick it deep, kick it real deep.
Yeah. Folks, St. Andrews Products is celebrating over 30 years of serving corporations, high schools, and colleges, as well as the PGA Tour. We're proud to support the new American Dunes Golf Course in Grand Haven, Michigan, providing resources for the Folds of Honor mission in providing scholarships to veterans and their families. Let us help your cause. Reach us at sales@standrewscorp.com, where your expectations become our standards.
The Penn offense like a horse in the starting gate, chomping at the bit. They had to sit there and watch 6:48 go off the clock here in the third quarter before they could even touch the football. Now Ryan Buckley and the Kingsmen come out trailing 10-7. High snap, Alec Hardrick takes the handoff, and Jacob Myers takes him down. Myers had some help from Brendan Daisy, and it's a loss of 2. It's 2nd and 12.
Seemed like last year when Penn had Riffle in that backfield along with Hardrick, they were a little bit more effective.
We've not seen much of Zach Lane tonight in this one. Rockhold comes out wide to the left of Buckley. On 2nd and 12. Buckley on play action. Rolls out, now throws back to Hardrick on a screen pass, and look at the blockers in front. Hardrick able to get across to the 32-yard line before the lumber is laid by Dean Ernsberger, but it's enough for a Klein Custom Homes first down. On a nice 14-yard pickup between Buckley and Hardrick, you get another look from R&B Car Company.
Pretty solid gain on that play.
Mark it for 13 yards and a first down. First and 10 at the 31. Penn being very deliberate about getting the plays in from the sideline. Play clock down under 5. Hardrick up the middle, nearly lost the handoff, and then Tavion Ortman stands him up at the 33-yard line after a pickup of 2, but it was all Hardrick could do to control the football that time.
Yeah, a little deep on that handoff that time.
2nd and 8. Hardrick has been the workhorse in this backfield tonight.
77 yards rushing. He's had virtually all the rushing for Penn.
You see the paint chipping off of the helmet of Alec Hardrick. I don't know that they get the spray paint jobs like the Notre Dame helmets get every week.
Now, but they're getting some pops here tonight from New Prairie.
It's Hardrick again, trying to cut back. He does, and Ortman brings him down at the 38-yard line, pick up a 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Kingsmen.
The Outside In is proud to support Penn Athletics. The Outside In offers massage therapy, holistic wellness, infused oils, as well as a sauna and all the natural homemade soaps. Visit The Outside In. They're on Facebook. Do that to learn more about The Outside In.
New Prairie shifting its defense around. They showed some blitz, so Buckley looks over to the sidelines. And now let's see if the Cougars are still going to blitz. High snap. Hardrick takes the handoff and nowhere to go. Again, Ortman. I believe that's his 3rd stop in this sequence despite an injured shoulder. And Penn will have to punt it away on 4th down.
Terrific effort by New Prairie in that front line. You know, we talked about how important it would be to win the battle in the trenches. And right now, New Prairie's holding their own.
Matthew Zhang lined up in punt formation. High snap, but Zhang is able to handle it and get a pretty decent kick out of it. It'll be taken by Ben Franck at the 36, and he is brought down at the 35. Terrific special teams coverage that time by the Kingsmen. Coming over to make the stop that time for Penn was Maverick Brown.
Well, you look up at that clock, partner. What happened to the 3rd quarter?
It has evaporated. Just 1:38 left in the stanza. New Prairie trying to build on a 10-7 lead with the ball at its own 35. Kamichek had 2 big passes on that last drive to set up the field goal. And Kamichek will carry the football here and just get back to the line of scrimmage before Brendan Art brings him down. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Estate Recovery Resale and Upscale Resale has furniture, home decor, electronics, and more in stock. Take it home with you, or they'll even deliver it for you. Check out both locations on Lincoln Way, Estate Recovery Resale in Osceola, and Upscale Resale just 2 miles west in Mishawaka.
So 10-7 New Prairie. You see the clock bottom right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Kamichek again from the pistol. Hands off to a new man in the game, Brock Sinka, and Sinka skidding his way for about 3 yards. You see the muddiness and wetness of that field down there. As Sinka carries it out to the 38-yard line for a big 3rd and 7 here.
Sinka's first carry of the night. So we're kind of looking for new names to help on both sides. We haven't seen Williams carry the ball for Penn. Lean's only carried it 3 times.
Play clock dwindling down to 5 as Kamichek lost the snap. Now he picks it up, but his knee was on the ground when he did, and New Prairie will have to punt it from there, but they won't do that until the 4th quarter starts. So the New Prairie Cougars will take a 10-7 lead into the 3rd quarter. The emotions high in this NIC rivalry, especially on senior night here at AMC Miller Field. Penn and New Prairie picking the mud out of their helmets in some old-fashioned football. 10-7 New Prairie on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. We get it, and we've got it. And we've got a Bo Hunt Bills Heating sideline report. Bo, what made the difference there in the 3rd quarter for the New Prairie Cougars?
Well, it's what this game has been all about. It's what we've been missing for the last few weeks, and that's defense. Both these defenses really stepping up and really coming to play tonight. I think that's one of the biggest things that's been the difference for this whole game throughout first half and second half as well, is the way both these defenses are playing. They're just really stepping up. They're not giving an inch, and that's been the key for both these teams, guys.
Want to pass along a quick congratulations to the Fairfield Falcons. They win the NACC Big School Division tonight, beating Lakeland 28-7. KC Tree sponsors the punt by Ben Franck. Good snap. And Franck with a rocket that goes way over the head of Zach David and rolls dead inside the 20 all the way back inside the 15. What a punt by Franck for 55 yards with no return.
The Penn Boosters root for Kingsman's success tonight and all season. They support all extracurricular activities, and it's only $10 a year to join, and it's a great way to show your spirit. Last year, Penn Boosters awarded over $20,000 for academic clubs and teams. Follow them on Facebook or go to pennboosters.org.
So the Kingsmen will start deep in their own territory, back at the 13-yard line. Penn just has not been able to string together too many first downs in a row tonight, and they have not been able to get the explosive big play. But they're down by a field goal here, early fourth quarter. Ryan Buckley at quarterback. Rolls out, gives it to Hardrick on a little counter play, and Hardrick keeps his balance, and look at him go. Finally brought down by New Prairie, and Brendan Daisy, after a first down sponsored by Klein Custom Homes, a run of 18 on the play, and look at the moves here by Hardrick on the R&B Car Company replay.
That puts Hardrick right at 100 yards for the evening. New Prairie's leading rusher is their quarterback, Kamichek. He had 34 yards on 22 carries, or 84 yards and 22 carries in the game so far.
Zach Lane checks back into the game for the Kingsmen. 1st and 10. A little breathing room here. Buckley wants to throw, throws it over the middle and has his man. That's Matt Fulton right at the first down marker. So Fulton's 8th grab of the season. Gets another first down, sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. Pickup of 11 on the play, up to the 42-yard line.
4 out of 10 now tonight for Buckley, 39 yards.
Penn with a little bit of success on this drive. We'll see if they can sustain the rhythm. Lane still in there at running back. New Prairie showing blitz. Buckley throws over the blitz and it's knocked down, and it's an incomplete pass. Tavion Ortman was the man who knocked it down that time, coming from the outside on pressure. Ortman playing with an injured shoulder, but he managed to get the hands up and disrupt the pass.
Good job there. Folks, Hardware Plus is a proud supporter of high school sports and has been Osceola's favorite local hardware store for nearly a century, featuring a wide selection of products and customer service experts. Hardware Plus, where service begins with the words, "How can I help you?" and a handshake.
Ortman with just some huge legs, really strong young man. Only a junior, 6'5", 212 pounds. 2nd and 10. Buckley hands it off. Hardrick back in the game, had nowhere to go. Jacob Mrozinski came in with the takedown at the line of scrimmage. Mrozinski getting some action on both sides of the ball tonight.
Folks, make your morning shine with a visit to Monterey Mexican in Mishawaka. Discover authentic Mexican breakfast dishes, and they're made daily just like the rest of their menu. Served right along with side classic American dishes. Make Monterey Mexican Restaurant your destination.
3rd and 10. Buckley on play action. Stumbles, heaves it down the field. He's got a man down there, and it's caught by Penn. A beautiful catch and throw. It was Zach David at the other end making the catch, but they say David ran out of bounds, and it's an incomplete pass. Take another look on the R&B Car Company replay, and while David did make the catch along the sidelines, he was out of bounds when he made the grab. 4th down in a punting situation for Penn.
Yeah, you can kind of see that left foot kind of caught the sideline there.
Matthew Zhang on to kick. Ryans and Franck back deep. Zhang hangs one high in the October night. Ryans will let it hit, and it rolls dead at the 20-yard line. 9:44 to go in regulation. New Prairie leads Penn 10-7 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. This game is not in. 10-7, New Prairie leads Penn with 9:43 to go in regulation.
Cougars got to make sure of a couple things. Move the chains, move the clock. Don't fumble the football.
Marshall Kamicek on the carry, surges forward, picks up about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies continues to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Our 3 Indiana locations are involved with supplying process components for aerospace giants, including the latest developments for Boeing and SpaceX. At IFG, we're like the teams in this game tonight, working toward a great finish.
Now New Prairie wants to try to drain some clock. They'll take a lot of time going up to the line of scrimmage with the lead here, hoping to string together 2 or 3 first downs and really milk this clock. 2nd and 6. Penn bunching the line of scrimmage. Now they'll back one man out of there. Kamicek on the run, and Sam Sullivan has him, forcing him out of bounds to help stop the clock. Nice play by Sullivan, the talented Penn junior defensive end. Sullivan so strong, he squats 455 pounds.
Impressive.
I kept looking for the decimal point in there.
Yeah, New Prairie is taking their time coming in out of that huddle.
They're looking to the 3rd and 10 here, back at their own 21. Kamicek has thrown the ball well tonight. Can he come up with another rocket here? He'll look to throw. Now flushed out of the pocket. He fires, and it's almost intercepted. He was looking for Thomas Sanders, his tight end, but pressure was coming. Hunter Mrzinski nearly had the pick.
5 out of 17 now on the night, or 5 out of 17. How about 5 out of 12 for Kamicek in this ball game? 119 yards.
Ben Franck about to punt. The punt sponsored by KC Tree. Seth Jankowski is the deep man for Penn back at his own 45.
Penn was short a man. He's on the field. Or short a couple.
Franck's kick nearly blocked, but he got it out of there, and Jankowski in retreat mode watched it go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. That's where Penn will take over with 8:40 to go. You'll see how close Penn came to blocking it here on the R&B Car Company replay.
Another big special teams play by Franck. Folks, when it's time for your next move, contact Kent Guy with Reichert Realtors. Kent is licensed in Indiana and Michigan and has over 25 years experience. Mention hearing this in the game and receive $500 off your listing. Whether you're buying or selling, if you want results that count, Kent is your guy.
1st and 10 at the 35 for Penn, with 8:40 to go in regulation, and the Kingsmen trailing by a field goal. Ryan Buckley hands it off to Alec Hardrick, and Hardrick had nowhere to go. Line of scrimmage caved down, and New Prairie shut him down. Jacob Myers continues to have a big night.
Boy, everybody's stepping up for both teams. That's what's made this a classic. Royal Excursion is a proud supporter of high school athletics, whether for a wedding, school event, team, or corporate travel, family, or social event. Royal Excursion lets you enjoy the ride, whether it's a day trip or cross-country travel. Arrive in style with Royal Excursion.
It's 2nd and 10. Buckley again signals his play to the receivers, and now Buckley looks to throw. Fires a bullet, and it is caught out there just at the first down marker. Brock Oldick, another catch out there, his 2nd of the night. And it looks like they might spot it just short of the marker. It'll be 3rd and 1. Pickup of 9 on the play. Nope, official goes ahead and says first down. It's sponsored by Klein Custom Homes.
49 yards passing now. The ball game for Buckley on 5 out of 13. You know, both quarterbacks are about the same as far as passes and completions. And a lot of them have been thrown really well, but the defenses have played well.
Hardrick's been struggling with his footing here in the fourth quarter. Let's see if he can get some traction here. He didn't get much, but he was able to pick up about a couple of yards. Up to the 47-yard line, it'll be 2nd and 8.
Kona Ice says, we're mobile, we're fun, and we're stocked with the most delicious flavors you've ever tasted. Visit Kona-ice.com to book your party. Kona Ice.
2nd and 8 from the Penn 47. Cougars showing blitz. Buckley had a little bit of success with the screen pass to Hardrick in the third quarter. Let's see if they go back to it here. Buckley fires, and he has to go in and out of the hands of Matt Fulton. Second pass that Fulton has juggled tonight. It'll be 3rd and 8.
He would have had enough for a first down. Folks, Klein Custom Homes is Michiana's premier home builder. Come visit one of their exclusive neighborhoods or let Klein Custom Homes build on your property anywhere in Michiana. For more information, visit the website at kleincustomhomes.com.
If there's one thing this defense seems to need, it's more cowbell, and they're getting it. Buckley wants to throw, fires, hit as he throws, and Fulton couldn't catch that one either.
What a good hit.
4th down, and Penn will have to punt it away with 6:37 to go and hope their defense can come up with something.
That ball was well thrown, right on the target.
Broken up nicely by Hunter Groves. So Matthew Zhang on to kick. Ryans and Frank are the deep men standing back at their own 20. High snap, but Zhang dropped the football, and a bad special teams mistake for Penn. New Prairie takes advantage back at the Kingsman 41. Zhang just could not hang on to the high snap, as you'll get another look here from R&B Car Company. It was catchable. He dropped it as he brought it down into position to punt the ball away. The ball slipping out of his hands.
Doesn't go as a turnover, but that's as close as you can get.
And now New Prairie with a chance to stick the dagger in with 6:31 left, and the pressure really on this Penn defense. Mungia to the left of Kamichek, but it's been Kamichek's show to run tonight. This time it's Mungia bursting up the middle. He picks up about 6 or 7 on the play before the pile moves backwards.
The Glenn Schultz Agency has over 32 years experience offering home and auto, life, and business insurance with agents in Mishawaka, Goshen, and Plymouth. They'll work to identify your needs and provide coverage. Glenn Schultz Agency, protecting your dreams.
Second and 3 from the 34 for New Prairie. Cougars trying to bleed this clock with the running game here. It's Mungia weaving his way through traffic, and Mungia battling close to the first down marker, but he's a little bit short. It'll be 3rd and 1.
The original Bonnie Doon Drive-In on Lincoln Way has all your favorites. Stop by this weekend for delicious Bonnie Burger, fries, and a root beer float. For over 83 years, Bonnie Doon has been a part of the community. Great food and rich, creamy ice cream make Bonnie Doon a favorite for a cool treat. They're open still this season until October 30th. Check them on Facebook for daily specials.
So here we go with a 3rd and 1 from the 32-yard line. Kamichek goes under center for the first time tonight, gives it to Mrzinski, and the big guard rumbles for the first down. It's sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and 9. Up to the 29 for Jacob Mrzinski on his 3rd carry of the night. And the New Prairie students loving every minute of this one.
6 yards on 3 carries, but that was a big one right there.
Brzezinski running over people to get that first down.
Oh, you gotta love that. Imagine how much fun that is in practice.
Bo, did you have any linemen who spelled you at running back from time to time at Bremen?
Yeah, big old Russ Sheets back in the day.
How is he compared to Brzezinski? You can answer after this first down carry by Kamichek. Takes the ball forward for about 7 yards.
Russ was a junior my freshman year, but yeah, he was offensive lineman, brought him in there, and I believe he was about 285.
They ever let him score a touchdown?
I believe he had 2 on the year.
Atta baby, Russ.
The Fridge was the instigator of all that, wasn't he? Folks,
Yeah.
the New Prairie Athletic Department would like to thank our student athletes, coaches, staff, parents, and fans for all that they do to help support and promote education-based athletics. Thank you from the New Prairie Athletic Department.
2nd and 3. It's Mungia on the handoff. Burst through a hole to the 5. Still on his feet, battling towards the end zone. Did not get in. First down sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dime. Noah Mungia exploding through a hole for 19 yards.
$60 yards down on the night for Mungia. 78 yards for Kavicek.
They'll spot it at the 2. 1st and goal for New Prairie. Cougars could be marching towards a shot at a conference title next week at Elkhart. Kamichek to Brzezinski, big fella to the end zone, touchdown New Prairie. It's sponsored by the Old School Tile Company. 2nd touchdown of the year for Jacob Brzezinski, and the Cougars are up by 9.
Just 3:03 left to go in the game.
Important extra point here for New Prairie. Trenton Chalik is the kicker. Out of the hold of Cole Staley. Snap, set down, kick, all good. And 3:03 to go in regulation. New Prairie behind the running of offensive lineman Jacob Brzezinski. Leads Penn 17-7 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by TCU, empowering members for 90 years. They're federally insured by the NCUA.
Folks, when you're in New Carlisle, stop and visit Charles Maris Hardware, your local family-owned and operated hardware store that has been serving Indiana for over 100 years. For all your fall cleanup needs and quality True Value products, visit Charles Maris Hardware in downtown New Carlisle.
KC Tree sponsors the kickoff here. As New Prairie tried to protect a 10-point lead with just 3:03 left. Spinning kick. It'll be fielded on one hop back at the 15-yard line and returned up to about the 25. So a long field for Penn, which has had all kinds of offensive problems tonight. And now have to find a way to score twice in 3:03.
The New Prairie Touchdown Club would like to wish the football players and coaches of New Prairie good luck tonight and in the weeks ahead. We hope you have a successful journey as you work to try to get to Indianapolis. Go Cougars from the New Prairie Touchdown Club.
So Ryan Buckley will break Penn from the huddle here. Marion has defeated Elkhart tonight 24-19. So they have one loss in the conference. New Prairie and Penn would all have one loss in the conference if this score hangs up. The throw on the screen pass to Alec Hardrick, and he runs down the sidelines and gets bumped out of bounds after a pickup of 14, and a first down sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. They'll put it up at the 39-yard line. It was Brendan Daisy who knocked Hardrick down of bounds.
63 yards passing on the night now for Buckley.
1st and 10 from the 39. You look at Hardrick, but the play action goes away from Alec. Buckley fires downfield. It's caught by Brock Oldick down at the 48-yard line. Another first down sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. And this clock stops as they move the chains.
Good enough for the first down.
First and 10 at the 48. Buckley has the Kingsmen into New Prairie territory on just 2 plays, but the clock now ticking. Buckley gets rid of it, and the receiver slipped and could not recover. Matt Fulton was trying to come back to the ball, but he had gone down.
Old School Tile Company in Hudson Lake is the area's leading hard surface floor and wall store specializing in kitchen and bath tile and LVP. They have over 50 years experience in the industry and has one of the nicest showrooms in the tri-state area. Old School Tile Company. Enter as a customer, leave as a friend.
2nd and 10 from the Cougar 48. Buckley throwing on every down, finds Matt Fulton, first down and more to the New Prairie 34, pick up a 14 on the play, and another first down sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. So the Kingsmen on the move here, but they've got to be quick.
90 yards passing tonight for Penn.
Again, Buckley will roll out. Stumbles, now fires down the field and throws it away. Buckley has had all kinds of footing problems back there tonight. It'll be 2nd and 10 with 2:01 to go.
Folks, KC Tree Incorporated is a fully bonded and insured professional tree service company specializing in storm damage and difficult tree removal. KC Tree also handles stump grinding, crane work, and small lot clearing for both residential and commercial jobs. Serving all of Michiana, give them a call at 674-7722 for more information. KC Tree handling all your tree service needs for 35 years.
Buckley zips the ball forward to Zach David, and David makes a nice catch down at the 15-yard line. It's a first down sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. Pickup of 18 on the play. We'll make it 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line, but the clock continues to tick with 1:50 and counting. Buckley with his team in hurry-up mode. Again, rolling out to try to buy time. Buckley will throw it out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:35 to go.
Incompletion's not a bad idea at this point of the game. Stops the clock. You know, Penn could get one in the end zone here. Chuck, we're probably going to be looking at an onside kick.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Kevin Bartz. The Edwardsburg coach gets his 200th career win tonight with a 64-8 win over Otsego.
Wow. What a career he's had.
Also, Goshen gets in the win column in the Northern Lakes Conference. They beat Plymouth tonight 27-14. Buckley wants to throw. Has time, now throws it away because everybody was well covered. 3rd and 10.
Well, we're under 2 minutes to go. We've got a great night going here for New Prairie. Penn would love to find a way to get in that end zone and at least make a play at the end of the game.
Should this score hold up, 3 teams in the NIC Big School Division will have 1 loss in conference, and none of the 3 will play each other next week. 3rd and 10. Buckley again wants to throw. Scrambling, there's nobody open. Now Hardrick is, and he makes a sliding catch, and a flag comes out. I think there might be an ineligible receiver downfield.
Well, if there isn't, there should have been. play took a long time, and when Buckley headed up the field, his guys were trying to help out. That's exactly right.
When you scramble that long, it's almost inevitable that your offensive linemen are going to leak down the field, and that's exactly what happened.
35 yards and penalties for Penn, 18 yards tonight for New Prairie.
The fog starting to roll in here at AMC Miller Field. Penn looking at a 3rd and 15. Buckley, straight drop back. Fires in the flat. Ball is dropped again as Hayden Groves broke it up. Matt Fulton was the intended receiver.
Boy, the defensive backs for New Prairie have been breaking on the ball so well. This ball is right there, but bang.
Great timing by Hunter Groves that time, and a timeout called by Penn. It's sponsored by Monterey Mexican with 1:14 to go.
Well, we're down to final week of the season next week. Hoping to have the game for you between Warsaw and Concord, and it's kind of lived up to its billing, what we thought it would be.
Well, Warsaw and Concord both winning tonight, which sets the stage for next week at Jake Field and Dunlap. Both of them undefeated in Northern Lakes Conference play, but only one can win the NLC title. Bart Curtis and the Tigers taking on Craig Kaler and the Minutemen. Should be great. Don't miss it. Friday night 11, Saturday morning at 9. Where? You're home for high school sports. Come on, you're watching it right now. TV 46.
And we've had another fantastic year here at TV 46. We've had a chance to see most of the top players in the area. We've seen most of the top teams in the area. We even ventured up to Michigan last weekend. Saw maybe one of the best teams in the state of Michigan at Edwardsburg. And boy, it's been fun. And, you know, we're looking ahead not just to the football playoffs, but basketball season around the corner. And, partner, we got plans to be a little bit busier this year.
We do. We'll talk about those when the time comes. So Penn decides they're going to need a field goal at some point. They bring on Braden Primrose for a 35-yarder now. And now New Prairie will use a timeout to make Mr. Primrose think about it a little bit.
Well, again, our thanks to the folks at Moser's Austrian Restaurant and to the folks at the Billy Goat Nine and Dine. What a job feeding our crew tonight. We really appreciate it. And Chuck, I think you got some chicken wings on the way home, don't you?
I do.
Oh.
And that's going to be enjoyable for me and my family. Yeah. What also will be enjoyable is the IHSA tournament draw. It's Sunday night at 5 on the IHSA.TV website. All the pairings from 1A to 6A around the state. And of course, we'll put all those pairings out on Twitter, Facebook, and now we're on Instagram, so you can Instagram that joint.
And we'll need to make a decision on where we're going to start our tournament coverage.
Primrose with a 36-yard field goal attempt, and it's no good. He missed it to the left. Primrose misses to the left, and the New Prairie Cougars are a minute 10 away from knocking off Penn at AMC Miller Field for the second time in 3 years.
1:10 to go, and they'll get the ball in pretty good field position, but right now, a chance maybe to kneel down a couple of times.
Penn has 2 timeouts remaining, but New Prairie should be able to bleed this clock out.
Well, there aren't many teams in Northern Indiana that can say they beat Penn 2 out of 3 years.
Not at all. Mishawaka was able to say that for a little bit back in the Bart Curtis years. And of course, there were many years where teams like Ben Davis could say it.
Yes, sir.
Kamichek takes the snap. He's going to run it, wrap both arms around that football, and take a couple seconds off the clock, taking it up to the 22-yard line. What a game sophomore Marshall Kamichek has had tonight.
Yeah, he was running toward the near sidelines because that's where Bo Hunt is going to be waiting for him.
Penn uses one of its timeouts. It's sponsored by Monterey Mexican.
Well, if they pick up a first down here, it's definitely over, but they should be able to run out most of the clock. There's Bill Gum, veteran on the coaching staff here at New Prairie.
Kamichek, a member of the baseball team here at New Prairie. You can guess that by the way he throws the ball. Made his first varsity start last year in the playoffs against Plymouth. This year, the starting job was his. He came into this game throwing for nearly 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. Ran the ball well last week, and he has run it very well this week.
They give a little pat on the shoulder to Casey McKim. You know, as a coach, you try something and it doesn't work, and you know, you're thinking, hey, we should go back to our old style, and you're brave enough to do it. It's worked out.
2nd and 9 from the 20-yard line. Kamichek again running behind that big offensive line led by Jacob Brzezinski. And Kamichek takes it up to about the 26-yard line. And Penn will burn its last timeout with 53.4 seconds to go. And it's sponsored by Monterey Mexican.
We've seen something a little different here tonight, Chuck. So many of the games that we cover are played on the new turf. And we're seeing some dirty uniforms for the first time this year. But the field has held up well. What a great facility. This is Amzie Miller Field, folks, and named after the former principal here at New Prairie High School, who actually put together the game plan for the playoff system the way it has been for the last 25 years, and it's been flawless. It's been great.
A lot better than what it used to be with the cluster system that they had.
Yeah, buddy. Remember the point system they had too? And they tried to work it out so the best team made it, but I can remember St. Joe being undefeated, Clay being undefeated, not making the playoffs.
No, it's great that everybody gets a shot. Of course, the one example everybody points to is the year that Northwood won the state title back in 2005 when they were 3-6 in the regular season and wound up winning the 3A state title. 3rd and 5 for Kamichek and the Cougars. Clearly, a first down would ice the game. They were trying to draw a Penn offside, didn't work, so New Prairie will use a timeout here as well. New Prairie, part of the 4A sectional. They're in with a Logansport team that's been ranked much of the season. They're also in with Culver Academy, who had their hands full with St. Joe tonight. I know St. Joe feels like it's playing better right now, but in terms of that sectional, New Prairie would look to be the dominant team in that group.
Yeah, we've seen New Prairie have to go down to Plymouth a few times and get past that hurdle, but Plymouth having a down year this year, so New Prairie may well be the team to beat in that sectional.
Meanwhile, Penn's in a sectional with an Elkhart team that they handled easily in week 5. They're in with Portage. The stumbling block for the Kingsmen is a Chesterton team that in some polls is ranked in the top 10, in others just outside. Either way, the Trojans are really good. And the Kingsmen have struggled with Duneland Conference teams this year, going 0-2 against Valparaiso and LaPorte. 3rd and 5 with 53.4 seconds left.
I'll be shocked if he hands off.
It's Kamichek himself. And a flag comes in. This will be a holding penalty on New Prairie.
And the big guy can't believe it.
Well, it wasn't Hunter. Oh, it's a chop block called against the Cougars, not a hold. And so Penn, I think, is going to decline the penalty because Kamichek did not get first down yardage, and they want to force New Prairie to punt. And now Penn will put on some sort of all-out rush on the kicker to try to block the punt and see what they can make happen here on special teams.
Partner, you're right with the keys to win. You're talking about special teams being a big part of it tonight. And Penn's had a couple of miscues, and can't say enough about the punting for New Prairie tonight. They've done a good job, and got to give a lot of credit to number 24. He's been solid back there.
Frank. The first half I thought was pretty even on both sides of the ball, and as I said at halftime, they gave Penn a little bit of an advantage in special teams. The second half has been dominated by New Prairie.
Really has.
And the Cougars will call a timeout here to make sure their punt protection is solid here with 23.2 seconds left.
Well, Penn had a chance to get to 500 tonight. You're going to have a real long run in the tournament if they're going to be 500 or better this year.
Bo Hunt, I want to come to you for a Bills Heating sideline report. Your impressions of this New Prairie team, how much damage do you think they can do in Class 4A?
Well, I think the biggest question with this NIC is what team's going to show up on each night, because you never know what's going to happen. And coming in here tonight, I mean, we didn't really know what to expect with this New Prairie team, and they are a very well-balanced team. Every time we show up and we see these different teams throughout the year, we see some of these bright spots come through, and the way they're able to run the ball, the way they're able to throw the ball, and especially the way they play defense. I just think they really get after it. Very solid 4A team for sure.
So 4th and 5, Franck will punt. Penn's got everybody up on the line of scrimmage to try to get the punt block, but Franck is able to get it away, and there's nobody back deep to retrieve it. So the ball just keeps on rolling, and clock keeps on ticking down to 12 seconds. And Penn will have it back at its own 32. But they would need a miracle of the highest order here.
Kamichek is thrown for 119 yards tonight. He's run for 78 yards.
Pretty good to get 197 yards total offense out of your sophomore quarterback.
They've done a pretty good job on Mungia, but he's got 60 yards.
I think the biggest stat for Marshall Kamichek tonight, Bob, 0 turnovers.
Yep. Well, that's one of the things that'll happen when your quarterback keeps the ball. You're not handing over. It wasn't a real wet night, but could have been a factor.
So Buckley will fire the ball. It is caught, and that will do it. Matt Fulton makes the grab, but the ball game is over. Unfortunately, Fulton is injured down on the field and in an immense amount of pain. I think he's got some sort of leg injury.
Fulton was injured on the play.
And that did stop the clock. 4 seconds left.
The trainer and Corey Yeoman out on the field immediately to check on Fulton. You see him writhing there with 4 seconds left. And everybody on that Penn sideline will take a knee. That is extremely unfortunate. And the official wasted no time in getting somebody out on the field, so it was evident to him the way Fulton went down that he needed some help.
A lot of pride and a lot of history at Penn High School, so they've got to get up off the mat after this one and get themselves straightened out for that last regular season game and then also for the tournament. And don't count them out. Corey Yeoman's got 188 wins in 18 seasons, so they know how to get it turned around. They know how to win.
Matt Fulton being helped off the field by his head coach and the athletic trainer. 4 seconds remain in this one. Penn will have a chance to take one more snap here, but it's a fait accompli at AMZ Miller Field as the New Prairie Cougars will go to 7-1 on the season. Buckley fires the Hail Mary downfield. Ben Franck gets the interception, and that will put the exclamation point on this one. Franck will try to take this one the distance, and he will not succeed, but that's the only thing that didn't succeed for New Prairie tonight as the Cougars knock off the Penn Kingsmen by the final score of 17-7. Stick around. Our Old School Tile Company postgame show comes your way next from AMZ Miller Field after this on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by
The celebration goes on at AMZ Miller Field. Senior night is a special one anytime, but especially when you knock off a conference rival like Penn, and that's what number 9 New Prairie has done. 17-7 the final. As we welcome you to the Old School Tile post-game show, Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel with you high above the fray. Partner New Prairie came in here trying to avenge a 42-3 loss to Penn last year. Now, every team is different, but you could see the chip on the shoulder for New Prairie. Very business-like approach at practice this week, and it carried over to the game.
I think Casey McKim's got to be most proud of the fact that they didn't have one or two heroes. They had both units playing really well. The defensive stops they made, the passing game, the way it went. Marshall Kamichek, we're going to talk to him in a moment. He did a great job running the ball. And Mungia kept everybody's attention on him. There's just And Ben Frank was outstanding, had some great punts and nice catch. It's just what you want as a coach. You want everybody to contribute and everybody to play their best football at the right time. They're celebrating here, and they're also celebrating over at Marion.
Yes, and that's the Knights getting a big win over Elkhart tonight as this conference race is now asunder. But Marshall Kamichek, a sophomore, playing quarterback and leading his team to victory. That's how you get to be player of the game, and he's standing by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Marshall Kamichek. First off, congratulations on this big victory tonight.
Thank you.
You guys come in here. Last year, 42-3, you guys get beat. You guys come and avenge that loss. Just how does that feel coming in here tonight?
Oh, it feels amazing, especially on senior night. Oh, it means a lot to the seniors, and I'm glad we got the win for them.
You guys are very well balanced offensively, running the ball, passing ball. Just talk about how that discipline's out there.
Oh, we got an O-line that can do anything, can pass block, can run block. Noah, he runs hard, and our wide receivers barely drop anything.
And your defense really stepped up tonight. They did a great job of holding this Penn offense in check.
Oh, yeah, our defense is amazing. Like you see, a few shutouts in a row. It's just nothing can really score on our defense.
Penn comes in undefeated in the conference. They have a loss. You have a loss. Marion has one loss. Just thoughts on the conference race?
I think it's going to be a battle, but I think we'll get it next week.
Hey, back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Bo. There is a me in Kamichek, but he never mentioned it there. It was all about his teammates, and the celebration going on is Ben Frank celebrating. I think that might be a homecoming king crown that he was wearing there.
That very much well could be. And you got to take your hat off not only to senior night for the players, but for the band members and the cheerleaders and the pom squad, the dance team. And now all of them are out on the field. The kids showed up, the students showed up wearing white tonight. It was a whiteout kind of a night for them. So, I mean, the whole thing came together. And playing at home was probably a big factor in this game for New Prairie. Number one, they're playing on natural turf. Number two, everybody's here just like it was a couple of years ago for a magical night at that time.
Yeah, great atmosphere, and the Cougars have certainly let it be known that they are a contender, not only in the NIC, but in the 4A sectional. And our crew, well, they're always a contender, led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo, who turned a year older this week, and not just because of being around us, and the rest of our great crew that puts their passion in each and every Friday night. A reminder, next Friday night, we'll decide the Northern Lakes Conference champion. The Warsaw Tigers visit the 7th-ranked Concord Minutemen at Jake Field. Maybe there'll be pizza in the press box that night, too. We'll have it for you Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Once again, the final from Amzie Miller Field. New Prairie 17, Penn 7. So long from New Carlisle.